Tattoo artists of Reddit, who and what have you refused to do? I want to get a tattoo of the bisexual flag, but I'm worried I will be refused or worse. Go for it. Most of the tattoo artists I know are very forward thinking and are part of the LGBTQ+ community themselves. Although your mileage may vary here, considering I live in a major city in Canada, maybe ask around first and test the waters before getting it, or drive a few hours to a more friendly city that can accommodate you. Good luck. Go for it. You'll probably be fine. If you're super worried about it, then find an LGBT friendly or LGBT tattoo artist in your city, but either way it's pretty unlikely you'll get refused for a pride flag. You'll make good points actually. I'm just extremely worried about homophobes, probably cause of my anxiety, but yay, thanks for the support kind strangers. Why would that be refused? Such a simple tattoo. I'm sure any tattoo artist worth their salt would be happy to do that. Eyeball tattoos gotta be a common refusal. Eyeball tattoos are actually done with a series of injections. There's a thin layer between your eye and the outside world. Put ink under it, and it stays there. If you tried to actually tattoo gun an eye, it would absolutely destroy the eyeball. Thanks, now my eyes are watering. Atahi. So let's say someone gives you a black eye, or a kid scratches that eye, or you knock yourself out tripping on a carpet, right? What would happen if the ink gets punctured from that thin layer? I'm curious to know. Thanks. Don't be ridiculous. You have two of them for exactly this reason. You test out the tattoo on one eye, and if it doesn't work you still have your backup. 'Tis only an eye. The gods saw fit to grant me a spare. Faces. I will not under any circumstance tattoo someone's face. A lot of the artists I know say they'll only do a face if the person's body is almost totally otherwise covered. They say that means they know the person is totally dedicated to the being a super tattooed person lifestyle. Makes sense. You mean a tattoo of a face or a tattoo on a face? One of the tattoo shops I go to have this rule, especially if it's your first tattoo. What if they already have a face tattoo? Did my first face tattoo a few months ago. Was reluctant at first, but she already had a couple less than desirable face tattoos, so I just did it and got paid. I just want a cute little closed teardrop below my eye though. Nice and wholesome. I won't tattoo someone unless they can tell me themselves what they want. A lot of people's friends, parents, partners do all the talking and tell me what the other person wants. If you want a tattoo, you gotta put on your big kid pants and tell me what you want. Had no idea this is a thing. Are they just bad relationships or the person is shy? The big one is human trafficking. They tattoo to mark their property. This needs thousands of upvotes, but wouldn't they have scratchers for that? Oh, they'll find someone to do the tattoo for sure, just won't be me. It's depressing, but human trafficking is a bigger problem than people want to realize. Is it a specific symbol, or does each trafficker have their own brand? An artist I used to go to regularly, before I moved outright, refuses to do names. She said I don't want to do a tattoo of a boyfriend's name or whatever, and then go through the hassle of trying to cover it up a few months later, lol. Do they also refuse to do names of parents, children, pets, ones that don't break up with you? Are you sure that children can't break up with you? To be fair, I got my daughter's name tattooed on me when she was 4. When she was 13 she decided to come out as trans and change her name, so now I have the wrong name tattooed on me. Okay, that's a scenario I've always thought about but never actually heard a case of. Got a funny story actually. I once tattooed a Queen of Hearts symbol on this girl. It was just a red Q written with classic card font and a crown with a heart in it. 2 weeks later she came back and had a black eye. I was new to the area, so I wasn't aware of gang symbols as much, but I realized it was a Latin King Queen symbol, a famous Chicago gang. I covered it up with a slightly bigger design for free. Refused any card symbols afterwards. You covered it up for free. That was really nice of you. I'm guessing she wasn't aware it was a gang symbol either. Either way, good on you for covering it up for free. This guy who wanted a surfing bozo playing a guitar wearing sunglasses. That one actually sounds kind of cool. Why would you refuse it? I mean, I'm 99.99% sure you're not a tattoo artist at all, but this one makes no sense. It's a reference to a comedy skit. WKUK, if my early teenage memory serves me correct. Yup lol. Still love those skits. At the top, did it say happy birthday Rick, because he was having a birthday party tomorrow and he would totally freak out. My wife said she'd divorce me if I got that Infinity Gauntlet tattoo that some people think is a good idea. I don't know why that's the line in our marriage, but apparently it's it. The hardest choices require the strongest wills. A small price to pay for salvation. Did you do it me? Yes. What did it cost me? My marriage. Got the gauntlet, wife disappeared. This is one of the worst ones on this thread. Please never get this tattoo. It's seriously a terrible concept. Not a tattoo artist, but I once met a guy who had his receding hairline filled in with tattoo ink. Like, with stippling to look like a buzz cut to make it look like he didn't have a receding hairline. He kept his actual hair cropped really short to try to make it blend in. It didn't work. That's the only time I've ever seen that, but wow, was that a terrible idea. Not an artist, but back when it was popular I overheard an artist refuse to tattoo YOLO on some chick. It was an actual sincere move. Did he do a smiley face on her chest 5 minutes later? Did he give her a smiley face tattoo right after? I know a person with a YOLO tattoo. Every time I see them, and remember I cringe a little. I'm not an artist myself, but when I went with my brother to get a tattoo he had a store about a guy named Jeff. And he was a weird man, and had many requests that the artist refused. The one that was my favorite was when he had gotten the tattooed elephant, and said that the trunk wasn't finished, and the trunk was well you know, and yay that was denied. I hope this gets some attention, because it could be very interesting. This gets asked, like once a month. Just search the archive. There was literally one last week. Still a lot of fun to browse. Obviously, we are both here. I once refused to tattoo a girl and her father complained to me by yelling at me from about 2 feet away. She was 14 legal age, where I live is 18, and she wanted her boyfriend's name above her eye. She was willing to compromise to her hand though. No. An artist once refused to tattoo how to use chopsticks on my arm. I'm very happy he did. 2008 was such a fun year, but also very unfortunate given how things have changed since then. The guy who walked in, placed his beer down in front of me, and proclaimed my mum died today. I need a tattoo did not in fact get tattooed. I don't do the face at all or the neck. So many people regret those. I just covered up a set of eyelids that said just chill. Someone once asked me to tattoo all the reposts of this specific question on this sub and of course I denied it as I would run out of skin space. I'm a very blunt person. It was easy. You smell really bad, and I refuse to continue. I haven't found the bathrobe tattoo in this list, so I think that's a good move for me to do. Only place I'll do MAGA tats is on the forehead.